Hey kids, welcome to Unit 1, Lesson 3 of the Neighborhood, Exercise number 2. This is going to be a lesson where we have to kind of demonstrate some of the knowledge we've picked up over the last couple of exercises. There isn't much code here. Let's go ahead and jump into the instructions and see what we have to do. In myneighborhood.java, instantiate a painter object called myPainter. Instantiate, well, other than being a really hard word for me to spell and pronounce, what this means is to create. I'm going to commonly just say create instead of instantiate. Know that that is completely wrong. What does instantiate mean? Well, the technical term means to call the constructor of a class that creates an instance or an object of that type of class. But in simpler terms, it's creating an object of the class. Instantiation just creates an object of that class. After we do that, we do have a note. Don't forget that the object has to be instantiated before it can be used. Make sure to instantiate the painter object in the right place. We saw this last lesson when I instantiated the object at the end. The first painter went through, did its thing, and then created the second object. This is what this is pointing out to here. We do have a show me how here, but I think we can handle it, so we'll save that just in case we get stuck. And kids, again, don't worry if you get stuck. Let's talk a little more in depth about instantiating this painter object. I haven't talked much about the anatomy of this object, so let's take a second and really look at it. This first painter is a user-defined class name. That's calling the class that we're referencing, where we're getting our blueprint from. The myPainter here, this is just a reference variable name. Again, referencing CSP, this might say something like var myPainter. Next, we do equal new. New is a keyword. Those are just very specific words in Java that do very specific things. This is creating a new version of something. And then after that, we have a constructor painter. What is a constructor, you ask? Well, we're going to talk about this more in upcoming lessons. A constructor in Java is just a special method that is used to initialize objects. And down the road, we're going to learn we can actually reference other objects we created within our superclass. But for our purposes right now, we're just going to write the class name for both of these. Well, let's go ahead and do that. Our class that we're referencing is the painter one that we imported earlier. Our variable is myPainter. Again, we're going to go new, keyword, and then we are referencing that painter class. Again, down the road, we're going to learn we can reference other objects that we create, but for right now, we're just going to reference that same class. Don't forget your parentheses and semicolon. After that, I think that's all it wants us to do. I think we can hit run and see if our painter is created and moves. Everything's working like it should. What are the two key takeaways from this lesson? One is the vocabulary term instantiate, and that really means to create a new object. Second key takeaway really is diving into this anatomy of instantiating that object. And again, the first part is a reference to the user class. Second is the reference variable. Third is the keyword. And fourth is the constructor. But for right now, we're just going to use that class name again. And that's how we create objects in Java. Hopefully you found this video helpful. As always, kids, if you have any questions, come see me. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. See you later, kids. Bye, bye, bye.